Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 5Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host for this week, Mr. Martin. Well, hang on, wait, that's not me. I am your host for this week. I am Carmo. Welcome back for another week, and we are joined as always by. I still can't get this right. I'm your lovely dance partner, so you're my 115.
Am I though?
Well,
hello everybody. Welcome back for another week.
He's robbing my catchphrases, so all this is a disgrace. And we have a very special guest for you again this week, ladies and gentlemen, returning after a long hiatus, getting ready for his upcoming match against Sammy D for the world title in Wolverhampton. It's Mr. Emmet Allen Casey.
I am not their beautiful dance partner. I'm in fact the lad's stepdad, El Smiggy Tan. Back after a short absence. The absences haven't been too much. It seems to be on average every 3 or 4 weeks and back on now. So
yeah,
the run up to the anniversary show.
At this point, you're going to have more returns than fucking Charlotte Flair has world title reigns. So
the only difference is I get cheered, she gets booed. I hope.
50-50 really, isn't it? 50-50.
I don't hate you, so.
the funniest thing in regards to the amount of appearances I've had on the show this year so far is Gallicini a few months ago just being like, I'll nearly be on the show more than Emmet at this rate, which is very true.
It's not far off, in fairness, to be fair. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to talk about WrestleRama, which took place last Saturday, I believe, as this episode is coming out. We're going to run through the card, talk about the matches, give our opinions on the matches, and to start with, what an epic show it was. Brilliant, brilliant show. Especially coming out of All In as well. What an epic show.
It knocked the ball out of the park. It was way better than it had any right to be. I remember saying that so many times. It blew the ball out of the park with nearly every match on the card. It was an excellent show.
It was fantastic, really. I have to ask as well, what did you think of the venue?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it. So I've always loved the complex because I felt like it's got that very good kind of wrestling arena vibe. I can't remember, was it you or Rob who said to me, and it was very true, it's got a very kind of Hard Knocks type vibe inside that venue, because you have the overhead for the standing people, you're just sitting down there. I loved it. I thought it was a great venue. Great venue.
It reminded me a lot of like a kind of almost like a bigger Dolan's, really. Yeah. Kind of the same as Hard Knocks. Just kind of, and the thing I found with the complex as well, it is kind of a weird thing to say when you're kind of at a wrestling show or whatever, but you felt a lot closer to the action.
Yeah.
So that kind of way, it felt so much closer to everything.
I was close enough at the last complex show, so.
Yeah, you were close enough at this one too, as we'll get into in a while.
My Switch!
It genuinely, I felt like we were nearly sitting in the ring for some of the shows, but it was that kind of close, and even when they were walking around the ring and stuff like that, it was cool. But look, I'm going to hand it over to one of you to kick it in with the show. Actually, we're not, because we're going to talk about who opened the show, which was the returning Mr. Angel Cruz.
Angel Cruz, Ultra Star. God,
I tell you
what a lucky crowd you were.
And I tell you, we were a lucky crowd that night. To see Angel Cruz back in an OTT rig was unbelievable.
Oh my God, I don't think anyone expected Angel Cruz back.
No, not at all.
When the promo thing came up, I kind of thought, oh, what's this? What's going on here? Just have someone snatch that folder away, the big reveal, Angel Cruz. I wish they kind of kept the fan audio in with the VOD for when he snatched it out and big reveal, because oh my God, the pop.
Place went mental. And what was weird was when they played that video, I didn't expect them to walk out afterwards. I don't know why. I just expected Ango and all the boys to walk out and do their shindig. But then he walked out and the pop and everything like that. It was just so good.
We're missing one thing happens before Angel Cruz's surprise return. Kenta was announced literally before anything happened. Yes. And I swear to God, we were debating. We had a nice mix of us in the car on the way up. We had the Drop Mick lads, our mate Bryn, and myself and Carmo. And Carmo was saying that there was definitely going to be an announcement on the day, which was something I never ever thought about or whatever like this. And for them to actually open the show with it, I haven't watched back the on demand yet. I would love to see if they did leave the crowd noise in for that, because the place erupted for the Kenta announcement. It was excellent.
What I found mad as well, though, is after the show ended, we ended up meeting with a few people and whatever, and we were standing outside chatting. And the amount of people that I went up to them was like, oh my God, Kenta. And they were like, totally forgot about Kenta.
Yeah.
So that's how good the show was as well. It was mad. Mad. But look, I'm going to hand it over to one of you to kick it off with the first match of the show.
I'll take it over here, Emmett, just because I'm going to, not give you any spotlight. So, kick off the show.
Right here.
I'll bring up something later on that I'm like disappointed that you don't have. But we kicked off the show, and Angel Cruz in the ring saying, how he can do whatever he wants. It's his show. So BDE come out, with their GN title that really belongs to Danny Cross. Cheers, be cool for that. They come out expecting, kind of one of us is going to fight. If not, two of us are going to fight. Angel Cruz announces, you're going to have one team to defend the title against. Not two teams. You're going to go against three fucking teams. We're going to have a fatal four-way.
Four.
We'll get to that point. It was three first. We'll get to that.
That's true, actually. That's true.
So, now it's just going to be against three teams. We get the Social Elite, my boys. We get the Los Muppetores, who, because Joker Bray was not running the show, got to come back to OTT, possibly one last time. We'll see where it goes now. Obviously, the boys losing at the Super Showdown, which means that they cannot wrestle in OTT again under Joe's rules. And then the last tag team was a team of Ilya Dragunov, Zarkov, and everybody's favorite, the Sam. Man, the fucking pop he got. I was so happy. The standing ovation for the Sam. Oh, my heart was so fucking happy.
It's funny, because you look at two of the teams, and they're obviously big heel teams, BDE and Social Elite. And even the Los Muppetores are kind of like, people like them, but they're not massively over, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, they are over, but they're not massively over. And then just to see the reaction that the Sam got is just, it's heartwarming, really, to see that he got it. And I even said it to him. I chatted him for literally about 3 seconds at the halftime show, and I was just so proud of him to be able to get where he has got in such a short period of time. Is just insane.
To think
and to be getting that over is just
To think a year ago, the first match me and Emmet ever saw was the Sam versus Renzo Rose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now there he is walking out to a standing ovation inside a brand new venue. Oh, warmed my heart. And then we got very, very special news. Again, as we mentioned with Los Muppetores, getting to come back because Joe's not in charge. Fabio Martin Steers made a massive return to OTT. Was brilliant to see their freshness back. How happy were you guys to see them two again?
Well, the showing they had in the match was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I've been enjoying the stuff with Los Muppetores and everything like this. But just to see Fabio and Martin Steers be themselves in an OTT ring again, and just the showing they got for the first quarter to third of this match was phenomenal. I stand for my opinion changes on this all the time, but I would say pound for pound, Martin Steers is probably the most talented professional wrestler on the island of Ireland right now. And that very brief glimpse of him we got during that match at the start showed exactly why. The man is a star.
No, I will say this: the last time we did see Fabio and Martin Steers in the ring, they wore themselves. So I don't know what your point was there.
Well, because it's been so long since then. It's been over 3 months.
I suppose. I thought you were trying to say that they were the Los Muppetores.
No, Jesus. No relation. No relation.
You could tell that they're not. The fucking swagger that the two of them coming out to when that fucking song hits compared to Los Muppetores. Come on. Fucking hear that song and Martin Steers is there. Burn out.
That dance is amazing. Amazing.
But one team's from Ballymun and the other is from Tijuana, Mexico. So
exactly,
couldn't be further apart.
Exactly. Yeah, you're very true there.
But, and obviously, one thing I want to point out as well, you could see that the star power of the freshness obviously was way too much for Los Muppetores. They ran to the back because they were that scared of the freshness and didn't come out until the freshness were eliminated. That's how big of the star power the freshness bring to OTT. You're scaring other tag teams.
Yeah, we'd have done the same, to be fair. If the three of us were standing out in that ring and they'd have come out, we'd have ran as well.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
I would have pushed Emmet to Martin.
I just get Hurricane ran it over the top rope, break my tailbone in one fleet movement, like
a wham bam chicken and ham, and he's knocking.
But it was a very short-lived return, as literally I think maybe 4 minutes into the match, unfortunately, Fabio and Martin were eliminated, the first team to be knocked out of the five-way elimination match. I think we go on then. Los Matadores come back, and I think they were the second team gone.
No, it was actually the Social Elite.
It was a Social Elite that were gone next. And one thing I want to actually just talk about, did you guys know that was the Sem under the mask?
No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, he took the mask off. I was like, holy shit, that was Sem the whole time?
I didn't realize when he had it on anyway, not a clue.
Oh my, he rightly fucking, shook me with that anyways. It was great to see Sem getting to jump in with Los Matadores. What would you call him, a Semadore?
It was Semadora. I was going to try to put in Luchador there somewhere, but it was Semadora, yeah.
Semadore, I'll go with that. Obviously, he put the mask over Max Guinness's face. Max Guinness, what the, yeah. What are you doing? Matthew comes over, tries to help his tag team partner. At this point, he's got the mask off. He's still fucking all over the place. He pinned his own fucking teammate.
What I will say is Matthew Bulletsmith's reaction for the whole thing was priceless.
Oh,
him literally on his knees crying out Max's name was so funny.
With his accent and everything.
Hilarious.
Max, Mom. It was me.
What are you doing?
Makes you wonder now, though, is there going to be a bit of a rift in the Social Elite?
Oh, no. Shut the fuck up, Carmo. No,
I mean, I agree the same. I agree the same. Pinky's all the way, but
those are our Hard Knocks World Champions you're talking about. Sorry, World Tag Team Champions you're talking
about. Look, I'm all for the Social Elite. D1 all the way or D4 all the way, whatever it is. But you have to question it. You have to question it.
Nah, look, all is good socially. I know that. I guarantee you, if I was to ask Matthew now, he'd be like, "No, we're all good. We're all good." Look, obviously mistakes happen. The match goes on. Los Matadores go out, which I think came to a shock. Maybe that could be the last time we see both the Freshness and Los Matadores now, unless Angel Cruz could do another. No, it wasn't actually confirmed whether it was Angel Cruz who blackmailed Joe. Just someone was blackmailing Joe with photos. So we'll see what happens next show. And then obviously Ilya and Sem were the next to drop with BDE, retain the titles. I thought that Sem had it. I really thought he had it. Obviously fucking Zarkov had fucking other ideas and just Sem needs to get the fuck away from Zarkov and Renzo. And he will be the GM champion.
The whole world needs to get away from Zarkov.
Oh.
Everyone. Step away from him.
Wasn't it great when he was locked up?
Yeah, well, for a while anyway. Not so much for Renzo, but...
Yeah, but...
What was it again? He tried to import 20,000 cigarettes. Yeah.
I mean, we've all tried it, but...
No, Carmo.
No,
I haven't.
That's how Martin did his stretch all those years ago, bringing in those 20,000 Marlboros into Shannon Airport.
15 years ago. 15 years ago when he was about 8 years old.
Math is hard. But BDE retained the GN title, and it was kind of a sad moment. But I'm still also happy that Bittersweet Josh gets a championship title. So where does the BDE and the GN title go from here? It'd be interesting to see.
Do you know what? This is actually only something that came to my head now. So that GN title needs to go back to the draw. Without a shadow of a doubt, it needs to go back to the draw. Maybe there's one man that could take on both of them.
Don't say it.
It's Mr. Adam Maxton.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. And he's coming back Saturday, the Comic-Con show. He'll be on that. He's been advertised for it. I think he's finishing up whatever that residency he's doing out in, I don't know, is it Spain or Magaluf or Ibiza, one of those places. I'd say that's probably wrapping up this week now because we're at the end of summer anyway. Cannot wait to see Adam Maxton back in an OTT ring.
It'll be weird for him to come back and split in the draw currently. He'll be coming back asking what the fuck's going on, lads. Hopefully he can put it back together.
We'll get into a little bit that on later on when we get to Sammy's match as well. But Emmet, give us into the next match.
So I believe match number 2 was Robbie X versus Man Like Reese. Am I right in saying?
Yes, with a brand new concept.
Yeah, so like I remember like before the show started, Boots and a few of the OTT ring crew were giving out these like raffle tickets, and we were all kind of scratching our heads, being like, "What in the name of God is coming on here?" So before match number 2 started, Angel Cruz comes out to the ring and he tells us if you've got a blue ticket, Robbie X is your wrestler, and if you've got a pink ticket, then it's Man Like Reese. And basically, whoever wins, they're going to do a raffle of whichever color ticket won, and the person was going to get like 400 and something euro from the merch stand or whatever, which was actually a really, really nice concept. I was hoping one of us would win because I'd be like, right, that's a second run of t-shirts and Zoom covers for next year. Happy days, and some petrol money towards Carmo for all the trips up and down to Dublin for these shows. Unfortunately, none of us won. But the match itself was excellent. I've had a real hard time this past week knowing this was coming up, trying to figure out what my favorite match of the night was. This was definitely, I would say, pound for pounds, the most, I would say, I don't want to say edge of your seat match, but it was kind of like, it was a very competitive match. Like this match in particular, the match between Sammy and, oh my God, what is his name? And Haskins, and the main event were all very, very physical. This was just like, the way I would describe it is OTT have done a really good job of when they bring like Robbie X and Man Like Reese and like Leon Slater and like Leighton Buzzard in, when they bring these imports in there for showcase matches rather than like kind of like storyline based matches, whatever. And this was a fantastic showing for both of them. You really couldn't call where it was going, and it was super cool to see. Like there was no heel or the face, there was no heel or face in the match. It was just a straight up competitive wrestling match, right? And the way that like Derice was kind of owning some of the heat he was getting, because Robbie's side at times would be more vocal than his side, and then at other times then half the place would have up for Man Like Reese. It was a lot of fun. It's actually probably the match that I would be the second most excited to watch back when I finally watch it on the on demand. I'll get into why it's my second most anticipated match to watch back later. But in person, one of the most fun wrestling matches I've ever seen with regards to like the physicality and stuff like that. It would be a match that if I was bringing a mate that had never been to a wrestling show and could sit them down beside me for a 20-minute match, it would be that match because of the physicality and stuff like that. Even if people are on the fence about wrestling or whatever, you could show them that match or bring them to see that match in another setup again in person. And just the physicality of it alone, man, it was like by the end of the match, both of the lads were absolutely staggered. They probably could have still gone from the 10 minutes because both of them are physical specimens, like, but just again, the exchanges and stuff like that, it was a lot of fun. They've been wrestling quite a lot over in the UK, obviously, over the past few months and everything. I would love to see OTT rerun this at some point at another show. Obviously, they'll probably both be involved in some multi-man match now at the National Stadium, as they're both advertised, I do believe, for the anniversary show in October. But yeah, both on their own, absolutely phenomenal. I don't really agree with the outcome, mainly because Robbie X was the wrestler who we had, tickets for the raffle for. So I begrudge whoever it was that won that 400 and something euro, because the 5Marks deserved it. But yeah, I do get it as well. I do get why, I do understand why Man Like Reese went over. So like, and both of them as well. Like we bumped into both after the show, and like Robbie especially seemed like an absolute gentleman. Seemed like the nicest guy in the world. So if I was to give it a rating, honest to God, probably 4 out of 5 stars for me. I thought it was an excellent match.
That's a fair shot. It's a fair rating.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those matches that like I've never heard a crowd so loud during a particular match. Probably then like Sammy in the stadium, which had like completely different feel for it. But just over a raffle, bringing that raffle element into it just added so much more to the match. And you could have done anything with those two guys. They could have stood in the middle of the ring and stared at each other for a half an hour, and people would have erupted still, like, that kind of way. But then adding like how good both of them are, like Robbie X, my God, like one of the best like around currently today. Like even that match he had back at Scrapper with Damo Pack and Leon Slater. Wow, like just absolutely wow. And I genuinely do hope we get to see both of them in the National Stadium come October.
Maybe we have that mega match again.
Yeah, do you know what? I could like throw about 15 lads in there and let them go. Yeah. Genuinely. Throw about 15 of them in there.
This is one thing I was thinking. We have the mega match again, but instead of for the briefcase, obviously, because can't have the briefcase, stick the GN title on the line.
Do you know what? Stick the NLW title on the line.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would much rather Trent be in a big time matchup. What's that other one that's only come back? The Heritage title?
Heritage title, yeah. Scotty Davis has it.
Stick that in a mega match.
Yeah. Yeah, you've a couple of different options there, but yeah, give us a mega match.
Imagine a massive battle royal as Scotty Davis in the ring, just fucking chucking people over.
Give me about 30 lads in the ring, baiting each other.
You'd fucking
do flips.
You'd take fucking Fabulous Nikki home as a souvenir, like he'd be fucking thrown into the crowd.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Carmo, I'll let you run with the next one because this is obviously your favourite. The second now I'll let you go into it.
Yeah, I did. So this is one of my probably matches of the night again for crowd interaction, as much as anything else. It was obviously I was going to say greatest of all time, but that's a big statement. Mr. B Cool, B Cool,
greatest of all time,
against a person that I adore more than probably anybody in the Irish wrestling scene. Mr. Danny Cross.
Yeah.
In what was the first ever, although I believe it's the second ever, scripted wrestling match in OTT. And I believe the first one was against the two boys, which come back to me on a later episode and I will confirm that. Be Cool came out, as he does, before making his entrance and did the whole spiel of we're going to do a lockup into a headlock, off the ropes, into a sleep, yada yada. Sharpshooter, Charlie comes up on the apron, J low blow, brainbuster, 450, match over. And it kicked off with the lockup. And my God, the place erupted. Deep place.
I'm just saying, right? The people in the front row, you had one fucking job. He said, when we lock up, slap that fucking ring mat. He showed you how to do it, and not one person got up and hit the ring mat.
Yeah.
You had one job.
It's true. Everybody should have done it. If I was sitting front row now, I probably would have been too scared.
I would have fucking got up because once he's like, "Oh yeah, go hit the fucking ring rope." All right, bah! Just grab him. Just grab Rob's head.
It would have been pretty sick, in fairness, if everyone from the front row stood up and just started fucking pounding on the ring. Like, it would have been amazing. Be Cool then got him into the headlock. Another big, massive erupt. Off the ropes. Did the sleep. Danny was going a little too quick, so Be Cool had to tell him to slow down. Off the ropes. Did I suppose a leapfrog kind of. Fell backwards. Jay run over him. And then obviously into the sharpshooter, which was invented by Shawn Michaels in Survivor Series 97, of course. We all know this.
Yes.
Charlie got up on the apron and obviously got told, "You're out of here," which again, another massive crowd reaction. The low blow. Be Cool really obviously got badly hit because he was selling that for quite a while. And then one of the best 450s that you will ever watch in any wrestling match. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Oh, I can't even put it
I
into
actually
words.
had a tear when I saw it.
Yeah, genuinely. I was the same. I turned to Emmet and I was like, "What are we watching? I can't believe it." And then Danny Cross went for the pin, but Angel Cruz stepped up and he said, "There's an implication on this match that whoever wins has a good match at the National Stadium." And it all kicked off from there. I'll let one of you take it over.
Be Cool went completely off the script.
He didn't.
He went off the script. Who was supposed to win the match?
Charlie Sterling. Actually, no. Us, the fans.
I love that.
You forgot your Mick Foley. Bang bang. That fucking cheap pop.
Hang on. Us, the fans. Bang bang.
Right here in the Red Cow.
Edit that in post production, will you?
Yeah. I got you. Joe, in fact, in post production, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing now. So your 1, 2, 3 is gonna be there. No, I was 100%. Be Cool went off the script, went to business for himself, and won the match. And that's all I saw. All I saw was there was a plan. He said, "Danny, you're on a bit of a losing streak. Because of me," these were his exact words, "because of me, I'm going to give you a win at WrestleRama," and he went against the script.
But what we got as a result of Be Cool winning
Terrible.
is and Maze.
The worst thing possible.
Is probably like
an
one
insult.
of the most. It's probably the match I've been most excited for since I've been watching Irish wrestling.
I'm probably going to turn my chair around.
Be cool. Well, you can't move the chairs in the national.
I'm going to turn myself around. I'm going to sit on Emmett's lap and turn around.
Okay, but first of all, right? First of all, I don't think my partner would be any bit happy about that. Secondly, I want to see that match. You sit on my lap, you were getting thrown on the ground.
Basically, what he's saying is you can sit in his partner's lap. Well, not really.
I don't think she'd be happy about that either now, to be fair.
You know what? I'm just going to sit up on the ring apron, just hands crossed, just angry.
Can we please get
and then I get a
during the match?
I'm just head.
No, but in equal parts, I really think that's going to be a great match. And I'm not going to get into it too much. I'll talk about it very briefly for a second or two. There was a lot of contention online about it.
Let me announce the match.
Oh, sorry.
Let me announce the match first, so that people can know that we're not just rambling about a mystery match. It's not Be Cool versus John Cena. It was announced that on October 28th in the National Stadium, it will be Cool versus John Moxley. Now Emma, take it away.
But there was a lot of contention online over people giving out about the decision, saying, like, why wasn't it Danny? Why wasn't it this? Why wasn't it that? Like, Mox is booked for the Wolverhampton show. There's every chance to be on the Belfast show too. You know what I mean? He needs 3 opponents that weekend. And he's not booked for the Belfast show.
No.
Oh, okay.
Too expensive.
Yeah, fair. But even like that, every time Be Cool has had a match inside the National Stadium for all of these anniversary shows and everything, he's always delivered. The match with Orange Cassidy is one of the best matches in OTT history. It is one of the best comedy matches you will ever see. I said this in the commute back. I stand by it. It's an amazing, amazing match. The contrast between Mox's super serious, violent like style compared to Be Cool's kind of cracking banter and everything like this. I had a small little bit of a debate with our mate Aaron O'Neill about this. Like, do you know what I mean? I am hounding him to come up to the National Stadium to see this. I really think, in the grand scheme of things, this is going to be one of the best matches we'll have ever seen since we got into Irish wrestling. I have faith in Joe. I have faith in Barry. I obviously have faith in John. They're going to knock the ball out of the park with this, and there's every chance it could be match of the night on that anniversary show. Like, it's my most anticipated match, which is saying a lot because the main event, which was announced, which we'll get into a little bit later, is going to be fantastic. But this is going to be sick. Can't wait for it.
I'm the exact same. Genuinely can't wait for it. I'm of the opinion that it could have been someone, I don't want to say better, but someone else. I didn't think they'd give it to Be Cool because there was a bit of talk about it. He put out that video a couple of weeks ago with Joe Cabret where he claimed why he wanted the match. But I didn't think they'd give it to him. But seeing it and now knowing that it's going to happen, it's so unpredictable of what's going to happen. So unpredictable. Like, John Moxley bleeds for fun. And is Be Cool going to make him bleed? What's going to happen?
Be Cool's going to get squashed.
No, he will not get squashed.
What happens if Be Cool beats him?
I will cry in front of 20,000 people.
2,000.
20,000 people.
20 million? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Be Cool to all Elite Wrestling confirms if he goes over now at the National Stadium. Imagine the graphic with him doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Could you imagine a Be Cool? Could you imagine a Be Cool MJF? Man. Could you imagine the promos?
No, MJF, there's no need for that now. There's no need for that.
It'd be so good. So good. But I genuinely can't wait for it. Honest to God, can't wait for it.
I've never been as excited for anything, like local-wise since we got into wrestling, like individual match-wise, as I am for this. I'm more excited for this than I was for Sammy O'Mara 1, which is saying a lot. We had a lot of hype going into that.
That's saying a lot.
There's no way. You were super hyped for that.
I am telling you right now, since without going into it, since going back over all these OTT shows and the OTT on demand thing, the standout every single time for all of the shows, especially pre-COVID, just teetering towards pre-COVID and the shows immediately after the restrictions and everything went aside, Be Cool made every single one of those shows. He had like a blindfold match with Martina, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen, where there was like a Lego like being used as like a thumbtack spot in it. And I've watched back that show just for that match at least 3 times. He is an absolute genius. Be Cool is the greatest Irish wrestler of all time. I'm not even saying that messing. I honest to God stand by that he is a star. Like,
I'm inclined to agree.
You're just not paying attention to Danny Cross.
No,
I love
said
Danny.
I said it when we said
No,
absolutely adore.
Move on. Next match. Emmet, you take next. No, I'll let Emmet take this one. The Limo Renzo Rose flag and a pole match.
So I'll be very brief with this because the match was pretty short itself. I'm I
had to take over because it just came into my head.
So Renzo debuted his new team, which is the Mario Brothers theme song. Man, I loved Renzo selling of that afterwards with how angry he got about it and everything like that. It was so good. The match itself, I really like Limo as a talent. You can tell nothing to do with like his ring attire or anything this, but stylistic wise, you could tell growing up he was a big John Cena fan with some of the stuff he does in the ring, which is pretty cool. What I really enjoyed about this match was that it was very short, very sweet, and it served a purpose. The whole flag dynamic and everything like this, but with what Renzo is doing now, they're building to something at the Milan show, whatever that is. If it's going to be him versus Trent, maybe it's something at the National Stadium. But this whole Renzo anti-Ireland tirade and everything like this, like this is going to be something that's going to be like going on for a few months. This was the starting point of it. They did a little promo online like the day before the show, starting the tease of it and everything like this as well, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see Renzo get that spotlight. I would hope whatever they're doing moving on from this, Renzo is obviously like a big name in OTT now over the past year and everything like this with the kind of like leaps and bounds he's had progression wise and everything like this. I'm super excited to see what they do with him in the National Stadium after this. I'm super excited to see what they do in Milan with him after this. There isn't really much to say when it comes to the match and everything like this. It's a flag and a pole match. There's not really all that much you can do with that concept. Like, do you know what I mean? They're notoriously short and sweet because do you know what I mean? It's like a lazy ladder match. It's two lads trying to run up to a turnbuckle and pull something off the top of it. There isn't much you can do with it. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's limited in that regard. The lads did the best they could with it. Do you know what I mean? It was very short and sweet, selling this whole new thing that Renzo is starting. It has me excited for what's to come, but for the match itself, I thought it was grand. Again, there isn't much you could do with a flag and pole match anyway, so the lads were limited in what they could do.
One thing I'm very kind of interested to see now is obviously in the match, Alex Grayson came out and screwed over Limo. It seemed like Limo had the match won until Alex Grayson, obviously, who lost to Limo at the Showdown event in Tala, came out, screwed him over again, and you know where they're going to go with this now. I'd be very, very intrigued to see because like the next show is the Fingless one, yeah?
Yeah.
Do they put the match there, or do they hold off and maybe put them in the stadium and give them just, you know, kind of a tryout, we'll say, in the National Stadium?
It's an interesting one. They're two very, very good competitors. Like Alex Grayson has been around for a few years. Same with Liam as well. And I did think after Paddy M lost and retired, Liam kind of got a bit lost in his ways. I know he was doing pretty good in LW and stuff like that, but got a bit lost in his ways. I believe Alex Grayson was injured for a while, so good to see him back as well. But yeah, really, really interesting to see where that goes. To go back on your Renzo Rose point, I do reckon it's going to be Renzo and Trent in Milan at the anniversary show in Dublin. And I'm praying to whoever is listening to this from OTT, can they please book it. Renzo Rose versus Angel Cruz.
Good shout. I don't know if Angel will come back to actually wrestle in OTT now. I don't know because it's been such. His last appearance, I think, was the tag match at the anniversary show last year.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but
what about Renzo and Zarkov versus Angel and Sam?
Oh, it just gets better and better.
You're welcome.
Oh, it gets better and better. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great.
Do you know what wouldn't be terrible is Renzo and Kenta. That'd be quite a good match.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Maybe not for the stadium. Maybe for one of the other shows. Yeah, Belfast or Wolverhampton, maybe.
Yeah.
I think for the stadium, like Renzo needs a solo match at the stadium now. He really does because he's been in two like tag matches the last two times he's been at the stadium, which is great as well. To be fair, for less than a year in, less than a year in OTT. He's obviously wrestling a few years now and everything like this. But who you put him up against solo wise, I don't know. Unless you have Paddy M come back for one last match, you know, to keep building this whole Ireland Italy thing and everything like this, because he's still in ring shape. He's still, up on his Instagram the whole time, running the School of Irish Wrestling and everything like that. So I'd love to see. I never got to see Paddy.
Don't say a fucking word.
Only one person can bring it back.
Don't say a fucking word, Martin. Don't say a word. Keep going. What's the next match, Martin?
Actually, I just want to go on this point. So we're talking about Kenta and who Kenta should face as well. Look, I know I fucking go on about him, but he is truly one of my favorites. He really, really is. And I feel like he deserves this match for making the GN title such an important title for the last year, putting on banger to banger, making it a workhorse horse championship. Danny Cross Kenta. I think Danny, you fucking carried that title. You fucking carried the draw with Sam for a couple of months while there was guys gone, when there was things we couldn't do. Here's my thank you to you. Here's Kenta.
I have a feeling that's the plan. I have a feeling that's the plan, because like with this whole thing that's going on with the draw, which we'll obviously get into in a few minutes and everything like this, they're going to, like, booking wise, they're going to want to have a reason to keep Danny away from that main event as well. So for Joe could turn around and be like, oh, with everything going on and everything like this, like, you've done that for the GN title, like you said, have it like his little video promo online, and he's just like, here, hands him a contract. Danny look at it really surprised. Match graphic comes up, Danny Cross Kenta, National Stadium in October. Like, I think it'd be a phenomenal match. I think it's a great shout.
I think it deserves it. I think it really does, for the work he's put in for the last since literally last anniversary show. He's just put in so much fucking work. Not even that, even then, fucking summertime as well. The next match then was for the OTT World Championship. It was Sammy D versus a mystery opponent, and I'm gonna say this right now, I don't think I've ever popped as hard for a returning superstar ever. Oh my god, when Skins came up, I fucking turned around. I was like, is that Haskins? Fucking Haskins comes out. I put the video up on our social, our what's it called? Our X, our Twitter. Put it up on there. Go fuck, like, just, oh my god, I've never popped for anybody. Very, very good match, I thought. This was actually one of my favorite matches of the night. Well, second favorite, for obvious reasons. The two guys absolutely tore it down. One little funny story I'll give. I decided to go to the bathroom during that match, and as I started walking out, I looked to my left, and who did I see fucking pacing back and forth? Corvin. I was like, fucking knew it. Nobody's getting that fucking title before him. Walked out, come back. I was like, do I tell the lads? Nah, fuck it. We'll leave a surprise for them. Said to Rob, anyways, Rob, remember what I said? No one gets the title before him. And Rob kind of sat there for a moment like, So the whole time I'm fucking watching the ring, watching the side, watching the ring, kind of waiting for that moment to happen. It was a great match that obviously went to a time limit draw, which I actually thought Sam tapped. And that's where the bell went. I didn't actually realize there was a time limit to it. Time limit goes up. Sam is still the champ. Sam says we'll do it again, no time limit. Haskins turned it down, interestingly enough. So where that's going to go, we'll find out. But obviously, as we know, nobody's getting the championship before Corvin. Corvin came out, beat the fuck out of Sam. The draw come for the save, and this hurts me too much to say what happens next, so I'm going to pass it on to somebody else.
Go on, Emmet.
Yeah, so after the match, I want to make sure I have the timing of this right. Did the challenge or the attack happen first?
Attack.
So Corvin came out after the match finished up, laid out Sammy and everything like this. Sterling and Danny come out to make the save. Corvin starts like roaring and all this type of stuff. Actually, not too far from us. We could hear all of it. And then Charlie starts talking to Sammy on the mic and everything else, and talking about the way that things have gone over the last few months and everything like this. Embraces him, hugs him and everything like this. And then as they're hugging and everything like this, into the microphone, Charlie starts teasing and laying out towards making the challenge for the National Stadium in October. So the whole dissension within the draw that's been happening over the last few months has reached its boiling point. Sterling calls out. Sammy blows up mid-ring, gets really frustrated with Sammy, pushing him everything like this. Sammy's getting agitated, everything like this. The big stipulation outside of it being for the world title, of course, in the National Stadium, is that if Sammy loses, he will withdraw a leadership of the draw to Charlie. I would imagine if that's the case, I don't see Sammy staying in the draw. I really cannot wait for this match as well. Match quality wise, it'll probably be match of the night in the National Stadium. I am more excited for Be Cool and John Moxley, which is saying a lot because Charlie Sterling, pound for pound, is one of the best wrestlers currently wrestling throughout the Ireland and the UK. He actually put up this highlight thing there only recently, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where like I can't remember who was wrestling. He like body slammed him, paced up the turnbuckle, did a moonsault on him, got up and suplexed him again in one felt movement, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, how is this man actually like real? But yeah, so the tension with the draw, and then Sammy turns around after the boys leave the ring, places the belt on its own in the ring, and walks away. So now we're in a position where is Sammy even going to accept the match in the National Stadium? We have to wait and see. We only have a few shows.
There's no choice. It was a cash-in.
Oh, but it's just the whole thing of the image of him leaving the belt down. He could, like, maybe they might tease over the next few shows that I don't want to fight you, Charlie, and then Charlie could say something in particular, and then Sammy's like, you know something, I'm going to kick your fucking head off your shoulders. So in National Stadium, that's the last thing we see before National Stadium. They're at real heat, and then I'd imagine they're going to have a super physical match anyway.
And Carmo, who's to blame for all this?
It's hard, no. You'd have to blame Sammy, really, for the decisions he's made while being in the draw and since winning.
But what's that one decision?
Probably letting Maxted go to Spain and work over there for the summer, really.
Yep.
Because, you know, the lads obviously dropped the tag titles and never went back from them. He had to do it himself. You know, that kind of way. He actually had to get in someone to make sure they won the tag titles and make sure the tag titles stay within the draw, which were lost by Charlie Sterling and Adam Maxted. So I would believe that it's probably Charlie and Maxted and a little bit of Sammy as well. So that completely deflects
very
the
good
blame.
answer.
That completely deflects the blame of who you were going to put it on.
You're so far up Barry's ass.
Hey, look, Barry won the tag team championships. No matter which way you look at it, Barry won the tag team championships.
Who lost the GN title?
And
Danny Cross.
No, he did not.
And if it wasn't for Barry, Be Cool would have lost the title against Omar.
Yeah,
or Sammy would have lost the title against
Yeah, but
Omar.
Charlie came out to help first and got rejected.
Charlie spent too much time trying to help Sam.
Okay. Explain Barry losing the GN title. It wasn't.
Barry didn't lose the GN championship.
Barry did lose. Barry got pinned.
Barry wasn't the champion.
But Barry was pinned. Barry was the one that jumped off the top, hit the rope, knocked down Danny. Barry got rolled up. Barry got 1, 2, 3. Barry was the one that put the GN title on the line.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but both of them got pinned.
Nope. Do you know how I know? Because I'm the one making that fucking My Way promo.
That's pretty fair.
Barry,
at least, like, would you rather drop one title or drop two? It was either drop the tag team titles or drop the GN title. Look, that's all I'm saying. That's all.
But look, when you're the greatest of all time, you can afford to make mistakes. Like, you know, his legacy is cemented. It's absolutely fine. He'll be going into the Hall of Fame next year, like, you know, even though he's still active. So
exactly. Plus, if Charlie and Adam hadn't dropped the tag team titles, Be Cool would have never had to come back.
I hate you both. Go on to the next match.
It's true.
The women's tag. Well, talk about the women's tag match.
It's true. No, what I will say is this. We saw at the end of that Danny Cross was kind of very standoffish during the whole situation. Now, he did walk out with Charlie, but you'd wonder which kind of side is Danny on, and you'd even wonder which side Max is on. So that kind of way. So I think it is an interesting dynamic with the whole draw kind of split up, and then the title match between Charlie and Sam. It's a bit of a mad one. It's on a wild ride, you know, that kind of way. And then obviously with Be Cool then going up against Mox, what happens with the tag titles? Do they obviously just stay in the draw?
I could say
like,
Danny,
no doubt Kings of the North are going to be around.
Danny's very much in Charlie's side. I think he put up a story there yesterday, something like that, saying pound on top. This is happening because of you, Sam.
So it's an interesting one.
I said this over the last maybe 3 months when I've been on the show and we've been doing these OTT reviews. The draw is going to stay together, but Sammy is going to get excommunicated from the draw.
And that's what Barry wants. Sam retired Barry. Sam brought Barry back. He brought back a man who clearly does not like him. This is the part I actually I love in the story, because it is working out the way I fucking said it would. Barry's taken away the draw from Sam. Slowly but surely, he has caused this big fuck up within the draw. This fucking hate for Sam. So Sam is going to drop out, blah, whatever goes on. But in the end, it will be Barry, Sam. Whether the OTT title's involved, who knows? But he is out there to take everything from Sam. I can see. I know what he's doing. I know what's happening.
I don't think the title will change at the stadium, but I do think afterwards that they'll all turn on Sammy, and it'll be the same visual as the Scrapper show. The draw will be on top, but Sammy, even though he'll remain champion, will be laid out in the ring, and the visual will be the remaining members of the draw united and against Sammy, standing tall, even though Sammy is leaving champion in October. I've said this now, but I thought it was going to be Danny was going to be the one to make the turn on Sammy.
So did I. I thought when Charlie said that, I'd take the leadership, I really thought it would be Danny taking over as leader. Really thought it was be Danny.
It's a lot of fun because it's hard to predict.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What I'd really love to see, and I'm going to sprout on about it like I have done all the time, Charlie, Max, Danny, Sam, be cool, Justy. That's it. That's me end of.
Why Justy in there?
The gymnasties.
Wait, who's Justy?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Wait, who's Justy?
Justy!
Yeah, don't say it like he says it. Next match, women's tag match.
I'm going home. I'll see you later. Oh, wait, I am home.
It'd be really weird if you turn around, you're like, this isn't my house.
Where am I?
Who the fuck are you? Shh, recording. Carmo, take the women's tag match.
I really can't, because I can't pronounce the woman's name. It's not that I can't pronounce it. I just don't remember it.
It's okay. No, I can't pronounce it.
It was
Yamashita.
I know it's Yakashida, but it's her first name. I can't.
Oh, I didn't know who she was before, to be honest. Again, no, I'm the lapsed mark, so that's my excuse. Like, do you know what I mean? I knew too closely.
I knew who she was. I've seen a couple of her matches, but the name is baffling me. But it was a session with Martina and Yamashita against Debbie Keitel and AV Anita Vaughn. But as they made their entrance to the ring and just got into the ring, Debbie announced that there is a new member of the Gallows, a returning wrestler for OTT, another one, in Emerson Jane, an absolute powerhouse of a wrestler. She held that OT title for a while as well. She actually originally dropped it to Debbie, and then, of course, Debbie dropped it to Martina. Do you know what? It was actually a really, really good match.
It was a very good match.
Yeah, an extremely good match. Really good to see Emerson Jane back. And Yamashita, wow. As I said, I've seen a couple of her matches, and she's brilliant. But seeing her live,
the whole time that match was going on, I was looking at Emerson Jane, like, I really feel like I know you. I feel like I've seen you somewhere. I couldn't put my hand. And then, you know that sliding, like, where she slides out and she pulls it down? Once she did that, I was like, that's why I know you, because Debbie nearly died to that move at the anniversary.
Yeah. And Debbie nearly killed her as well during that match as well. There was a couple of different spots that were hard hitting. But yeah, really, really good match. Towards the end of the match, we did see Debbie kind of slip out of the ring, herself and AV obviously headed to the back. AV did rob Martina's women's world title, which is kind of interesting. But Martina and Yamashita obviously picking up the win. But yeah, overall, really, really good match. Really, really good match. Very, very impressed with me.
Solid rave afterwards.
A very solid rave afterwards.
I mean, I saw Emmett standing up on the stool fucking going crazy.
I was actually really into the match, to be fair. I thought it was an excellent match.
Oh, I recorded a lot of the matches, but I was so fucking, into the match itself. I actually recorded no spots in that match. I don't know, was it the Session Moth or was it Sam? At one point, Emmett went to the bathroom and they actually stood up on his chair.
It was Robbie, yeah.
Was it Robbie?
Yeah. He nearly hit me in the face, the fucker.
Did he? But no, solid fucking tag match. I'm interested. As I said, I think I said this maybe Foxy on. I love how they're slowly putting in like different seeds to this. Emerson Jane now is inside with the gals, along with Lizzie Evo. Session Moth doesn't have anyone long term, as if we'll say. Like Emerson Jane, as you said, former OTT Women's Champion. She's been around. AV and Nita Vaughan. She's always there for OTT, so she's always there to be by Debbie Keitel's side. Session Mod didn't have anyone. Obviously, there's Corey Zero. There's
Corey Zero was kind of part of the Gals as well, though. In fairness, her, she kind of came in as part of the Gals.
She did, but they disowned her. Obviously, then she went off, fought Nita Vaughan in a fucking amazing match. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. I believe it was at the Draw. So like to have people around full time, she needs to start finding some fucking help, because when we get to the National Stadium, you're guaranteed that Debbie Keitel is going to have Emerson Jane and Nita Vaughan, who's going to be in Session Mod's corner to stop.
Who could be up the sleeve? Who could be up the sleeve, though? Who haven't we seen in OTT for a while? Who could possibly be there?
I've been saying this for ages.
Come back. Who is it, though?
Raven Creed was one of the first seeds ever planted in this. She's owed a championship match all the way back from Jesus. What was it? What was the show before Scrapper? Fuck.
Road to Scrapper, I think.
No, it was a Belfast show. Was there a Road to Scrapper Belfast show?
I think so. Yeah, there was one in Dublin.
Either that Road to Scrapper Belfast show or Hulkman Belfast. Whatever was the go home Belfast show. She's still owed a match from there, so could see Raven Creed come into it again.
I was going to say that as well, but the one thing I could see happening is like on the builds to because they are going to have this big blow off match at the stadium. They have to, like, they've been building it since Scrapper now with Debbie seeding the belts and everything.
She's got it. This was the whole point of the match. Like, if she won this match, she gets what she wants. She gets that match.
But I think adding to your point, what they'll do is they'll reintroduce Raven in OTT probably at the next show. Keep her like alongside kind of Session Moth as like her backup or whatever, because Lizzie kind of isn't ever present at the shows in the moment. She's been booked quite a lot in the UK, so she is still part of the Gals, but she's not like super active with them. So I think what's going to happen is because like Raven Creed is like a super like aggressive wrestler and everything like this. So like I think what they'll do is like she could come in and level like Anita Vaughan and what was the name of your one that re-debuted again?
Emerson Jane.
Emerson Jane. Like she could lay them out the next show and everything for Session Moth. And then like the Belfast show after Scrapper, adding to Martin's point, Raven Creek could turn around after whatever match that Session Moth has, lay her out and be like, I've been owed this for nearly a year, pay up, like, do you know what I mean? Have Raven be the heel, Session Moth is the champ, build that for a few months. They could have an amazing match at Scrapper then next year, like, do you know what I mean? And I think Raven Creed deserves that spotlight as well. She's an absolute fantastic talent, like.
I agree with both of you. I think Raven Creed does deserve that match, but I think it should happen after the anniversary show at some stage. I'm going to throw this out there, and it's probably never going to happen, but I have to throw it out there. So let's say the situation is where the match happens at the anniversary show. Session Mod is getting the hit kicked off her by both Debbie and Anita Vaughan. Let's say Foxy's down, whatever the situation is. And out walks Becky Lynch.
It won't ever happen.
No.
But
I would say no for the simple fact of where do you go with it? Because they'll never get to book her.
Just an old friend.
I get that, but like there has to be a payoff. There has to be like Debbie can't come out and we call it Session Mod. So the fuck cost in the match, Becky Lynch. Someone who I could see is an old friend of Debbie's, who they might allow do a once-off match in Valkyria.
No, maybe actually, yeah, that's probably more likely. Another one I thought of as well, I know she's injured at the moment, and whether it would be possible or not, is Jamie Hayter. Because I know Jamie Hayter and Martina worked together for quite a while. And she's obviously someone that you can get back over with the willingness of AEW.
Yeah.
Look, we can speculate on this.
Who, Irish talent-wise, in terms of who we have now, could you see?
The only other person I could see, and I don't think it'll happen, is Katie Harvey.
I was thinking Katie Harvey.
Or Myla Grace.
Maybe, yeah. Look,
Myla Grace isn't a bad option.
This is another reason why I have to tune in to 9th year anniversary.
Every show, really. Every show.
Yeah. It has me super excited for even those like the 2 or 3 shows, even contenders leading up to the anniversary shows now, because like they have to have some like storyline points happen on each of these shows to kind of like finish off all these stories to get them to where they need to be by the time of the anniversary weekend. Like, you know, I think
we have 2 shows, but 1 show.
One is the Comic-Con show. So it's interesting to see if they do something and anything at that show.
Didn't they have for Contenders as well?
Oh, Contenders is the week before. Sorry, Contenders is the week before.
And it's just Fingless then. That's the other.
Fingless. So Fingless is the only kind of show where they can do any stories. Because they don't do it at Contenders. Well, they do sometimes, but normally it's like the payoff. Bits. Yeah, normally it's just the payoff to a rivalry. So you pretty much have one go-home show before the 90th anniversary, which is the Fingless show.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what happens. But look, we'll move on. Now, this one obviously is for all of us because this was the fucking match. Swords of Essex, Will Ospreay, Paul Robinson versus Omari and Scotty Davis. What a fucking match.
I nearly punched him while Omari was making his entrance.
Oh.
Really?
I was boogieing out. I love that song, The Potion, that he's using at the moment.
Oh, what's horrible.
Oh, shorty, what you got? Some violent shit. Oh, it's so good. I love it.
It's not good at all. Like
it is. It suits him so well. I still like Omari.
I don't like it.
I got paid that day with some. I'll show up here first. Some J money.
I have some there as well. Yeah.
I'm so mad that I didn't get
J
that.
money paying off the podcast. Cheers for that. You know.
I have some there as well. Yeah.
It's actually only transferable as Dogecoin, apparently, so it mightn't be worth much.
It is actually
it's about like 0.04 of a cent. Like,
I'm gonna go into town now and start doing my shopping with my J money.
Imagine trying to put that through a self-service machine, and if it works, like
here's 2 cents. But oh my god, guys, what a fucking tag team match!
Amazing,
unbelievable.
Well, we'll start off. We'll start with this. Like, obviously, Emmett, you got to jam out to fucking Omari coming out, but who was not singing "Elevated"?
Oh my god, yeah, Jesus,
me, because I don't know the words. No, I'm only joking.
Just turns over to Emmett. Is it 11? Is he 11 to the sky? No.
Joe. What was actually kind of cool is I don't know if the Swords of Essex actually have their own kind of team show or whether they always come out separate. But there was that kind of sense in the crowd. It was like, are they going to come out together?
Yeah.
Are they going to come out separate? Is there going to be Elevate? What's going to happen? Do you know that kind of way? So it was really cool to still get Elevate. Obviously, when
I thought we were getting it when Paul came out. I thought, for fuck's sake, we're not getting Elevated because he starts walking out. But we came up with himself and went, oh. We're getting to do it. Like, obviously, I got to do it twice already, but I really wanted to do it in OTT. So getting the fucking thing Elevated. To see fucking Omari going up against Will Ospreay, I need a singles match. I need a singles match.
Do you know what was cool was the fact that like Scotty Davis was obviously stepping up because they do have that rivalry in OTT, and he just completely looked past him. Looked past him straight at Omari, which I thought was very, very cool. Very, very cool. That must annoy Scotty Davis quite a bit. Like,
it makes you wonder. We'll get into it after we talk about the match, of course. But like something was mentioned after a possibility about Will making one more appearance. It is one of the two he would have to go singles with. Who do you do it with? Like, do you know what I mean? We'll get to that when we've talked about the match, of course. But I've been debating that since the show, and it's just that you mentioned it there as well.
So, obviously, as well, Saturday was the first time I ever got to see Paul Robinson compete. That motherfucker, for such a small dude, he really gets fucking in there. Like, he will hit, I don't know what the fucking move is called, but you know when they fucking side them, bring him in, chest, the chest at the back, you know. He'll fly around the ring, he'll fucking wrestle you, technician, it's fucking everything. He's a heavyweight while he's cruiserweight.
Not only did he fly around himself, Omari threw him around the place as well. Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
Some of those lifts up to the
that.
sky. My God, he must have been like 12 feet in the sky at certain stages. Like, he threw him that high up. Like.
As well, did you see when
the video of that too?
Did you see when he got put in the gator roll? How fucking high up Scotty put him up. Just fucking whoop bang. I was like, oh my God. Fucking love
that move as well. That move as well, where he grabs your arms and starts spinning you around. My God.
Oh my fuck! He went up against two fucking big men, but I gotta put back. Like I love the moment that they had when fucking. I think there was two moments. This one I want to talk about first was when Omari was stood in the ring challenging Will to come in. Paul makes a tag, and you have that beautiful standoff between the two guys. I think there was one point Will got the tag in. Scotty was fucking exhausted in the corner. He picked up Scotty, threw Scotty to his corner, and he challenged Omari to come into the ring. Like,
brilliant.
He fucking wanted that fight.
It's not something you see often as well these days. It's kind of like, oh yeah, general tag match. Not general tag match, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'll fight whoever's in the ring. So that kind of, but for him to go out and be like, no, I've beaten you. I want him, was top notch. Top notch.
What do we think of the match as a whole, Carmo?
Unbelievable. Like, you see, it's one of those weird things, and we've mentioned it here on before about like going to shows and then not seeing, the show not being as good as you watch it back and stuff like that. We've all seen Will Ospreay over the years and how good he actually is and everything like that. But getting to see him live, and especially that up close, because All In is different. Getting to see him that up close, wow, like it was one of those moments where you kind of have to pinch yourself. You'd be like, this is amazing. That kind of, this is unbelievable. It's like being out the front row at like an All In or a WrestleMania and getting to see those big names. It was so good. And Paul Robinson as well, unbelievable. What a wrestler. And Omari, Scotty Davis, I can't say enough words about both of them. Like, we've seen him over the last year. Scotty Davis maybe not, or kind of a bit further back, but yeah, just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
All right, I'm going to grab my popcorn now. Emmett, take it away.
No, I'll keep it short and sweet. Great showcase match for everyone involved and everything. Obviously, Will didn't need to be showcased because he is legitimately the best wrestler in the world right now. There is no debate about that. The Omega matches this year, the Jericho match this year, the recent which was absolutely phenomenal as well. The man in the next, it's like, God, like, he's wrapping up his indie bookings now. We know time is limited. The match itself, I can honestly say it's outside of the Sammy O'Mari title match at Scrapper is probably the most. Sorry, I think. Oh, did my thing cut there?
No.
It's the most invested I was in live. Oh, perfect. It was the most invested I was in the live match. It was just spot for spot, absolutely phenomenal to watch. And I was very conscious the whole time that I was like, this is the first and last time we're going to get to see Will Ospreay in a ring. Even when I was a lapsed fan and wasn't watching, I was still aware about who Will Ospreay was. The stuff he was doing with Walter at the time, the stuff he was doing very early on with New Japan and everything like this. You couldn't escape hearing about Will Ospreay. Do you know what I mean? He'd been a rising star now for the bones of a decade. I'm in equal parts delighted for him because he's going to be making a lot of money over the next few months and everything, but I'm heartbroken over the fact that we won't get to see him really again. But he was saying after the show there was a post-match promo and he was talking about, he actually said it to Joe in front of everyone that he wants to do one more match, National Stadium, even if they need to like book an extra show or whatever like this. And it was really cool. It was a really nice moment with the promo and everything like that. He went specifically around the ring, thanking and hugging people he recognized from different shows and everything. That was really cool. We had a really nice moment afterwards. We got to meet him. That was amazing. Did not think that was going to happen. I've never been nervous meeting since we've started this podcast. You can tell in the photo of me, actually, like, I usually do the soy boy where I go like, but I'm literally pale faced, just like in the photo because it's moved. We actually got to conduct like a tiny mini interview with them as well. And I must say the people that were actually witness that as well are really sound. I asked Will 2 or 3 questions and there was like maybe like 5 to 10 people around us. And in other circumstances, normally people would be pushing to like try and ask him to get a photo, whatever it is. They all actually listened to his answers and stuff like that as well. And Will really reciprocated the fact that like he is adamant about doing one more National Stadium show before he goes stateside full time. And I'm all for it. And again, brings up the debate, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. Who do you give that match to? Who do you give Will's last Irish match to? It has to be an Irish challenge. He said that flat out when we were talking to him. I would say it has to be LJ Cleary, but there's so many others you could do it with as well. Like, do you know what I mean? The LJ match would just make the most sense to me, but there's loads more you could do. Like,
I'm going to get back to that in a second. 2 points that I just want to make up is obviously Will talked about his contract being up in 6 months' time with New Japan, and that he doesn't really know what he's doing. And of course, that brought the outbreaks of sense of.
I wanted to say, whoever that fan was that first screams Joe, fucking brilliant. It's the fact everyone, and just for Osprey to fucking turn around, it's like, you're ready to take out another loan if you're gonna fucking book me full time.
Yeah, brilliant. It was so good. On getting to meet Will, wow, that was incredible. I've met so many names in the wrestling industry, whether it be Comic Cons or just like chance meets like that and stuff like that. It doesn't stop like being like wow, so that kind of way. Like you're almost pinching yourself afterwards. I was so excited on that car journey on the way home. You were there, Emmet. You saw me. I don't know how many times I mentioned it, like probably about 15, 20 times. Like, incredible, just absolutely incredible. As for who he could fight if they do the stadium show, I think it has to be Omari. I know he's not necessarily an Irish talent; he's more of an import, but he is an Irish talent. He's on nearly every show
for sure.
So I personally would have to say Omari.
For me, then
I'd be all for it.
I'm gonna go into the talking of meeting people in a little bit. I believe either Omari as the kind of passing the torch, or if he really wants to kind of keep it personal and pass the torch, one more with Scotty, but Scotty gets to win. You know, I think that's the way to go about it. As you guys said, we got to meet Will after the show, so that was fucking like I said to fucking Dean. I said to him, you know, if anything fucking happens tonight to make up for fucking not meeting Saraya, fucking Fozzy, Shibata, fucking Audrey Edwards, you know, fucking meeting someone, trying to miss out meeting people last week at All In. If I met Will Ospreay, that's a fair trade. That's a fair fucking trade. I'm happy. I will never complain about not meeting Shibata again. I forgive the security guard, the fucking prick. Got to meet Will Ospreay, which was fucking highlight of the night. As Emmett was saying, fucking really, really nice guy. I hate my photo just because it's blurry, just because the lighting was terrible. I should have got someone to take the photo for me. But I got one very funny photo with a funny story. It was the two of us laughing. For the simple fact is, I don't know why, one, there was a timer on my fucking thing, or two, why the flash was on, because I don't turn those things on. I keep them off. They just happen to be on, and Will turns around and goes, oh, of course you got the fucking one prick with the timer on. I was like, I didn't fucking turn it on. Two of us fucking start laughing. Thank God the actual camera caught the two of us laughing, so I got to have a funny moment with him. I went back, got another photo. I was like, oh, can I have another photo? Yeah, no problem at all. So this time I've turned off the timer and the fucking thing. Don't worry, got to take a photo. And then obviously, you know, let everybody else get their photos. It was highlight of the fucking 2 weeks of seeing, the week of getting to see him 3 times. It was the highlight of fucking everything. It was just so nice.
The thing that kind of stood out for me a lot with Will was when he initially came out. No, I'm actually going to give credit to Gaff from the Drop Make lads, because he was like, oh, let's head down here. This is where the back door is. This is where they're all coming out. Genius idea. Great idea. So we headed down there, whatever else, and he came out and he saw there was probably maybe like 10 people, roughly, maybe even slightly less, that ran over to him initially looking for pictures. And you could see he put his hands up and he was like, nah, lads, fuck it, go on, sure, why not? So that kind of way and pulled everyone in and got a picture or whatever else. But just how nice he was. You could ask him questions, as Emmet did. I even asked him questions, that kind of way, and like not a bother. And even when he had to go, because he said he was shooting something for OTT, God knows what it is. Hopefully, it's an announcement for the stadium show. Just to be like, look, lads, I have to go over here for a minute to do something. I'll be back in a minute. Hopefully, I'll get 1 or 2 more pictures. Cool out. Genuinely nice guy. He doesn't have to be at all. You're the best wrestler in the world. You do not have to spend your time with us at all. And he did. Incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
My one regret was, and I really want to say it to him, but that was the point he turned around and was like, here, lads, I've got to go do this fucking promo thing quickly. Was I wish I got to say to him about his fucking Rev Pro promo, because I really fucking hit me that promo. So I wish I got to say that to him, didn't, but look, I got to meet Will fucking Ospreay. With you and Gaff, my thing of going over there was, for a lot of not meeting the people was like, for not meeting people all in, was Dean and his group of mates went off, and I would go, nah, fuck it, I'll stay here. I saw them walk over to the door, and I literally thought to myself, I didn't follow them for All In, and I didn't meet anybody. I'm going fucking over there. So I walk over, there they are with Haskins and fucking Vic Haskins. Mark Haskins was just, like, he was simply trying to pack his stuff. And people came over and started fucking asking for t-shirts and stuff. And he was just like, can I open up shop here, I guess? Opened up shop, was selling t-shirts, taking photos. Doris comes out and it's like, oh, so this is where we're selling the stuff. And Haskins laughs like, I was just trying to pack my stuff and now I've opened the whole fucking shop. So Doris comes out, get a photo with Doris, buy your merch. And then fucking Scotty comes out and Mark Haskins and fucking Doris started like, hey! He just turns around and was like, yeah, thanks for fucking telling me, you pricks. So Scotty sets up shop and everything. And then obviously that's where fucking Will Ospreay came out then. And the fucking night was made. But even getting to meet fucking Mark Haskins was cool as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say there as well, just with the Mark Haskins Doris thing. While we were kind of standing where we were, where we were kind of as the group just hanging out, whatever. Robbie X came walking.
Yeah.
And he just literally set his bags down beside us and just came over chatting to us. Didn't even nothing else, just came over and started chatting. And I was
fist
like,
bumps,
awesome.
All smiles. It was gentleman.
My sister is the biggest Robbie X mark, and she took 10 minutes of his time. At that point, it's time for him to go back to where he's going to and go to sleep. Do you know? He took 10 minutes, maybe more. And like the whole time that we were with Ospreay, he was with her just to talk to her, take a photo. Like he was discussing merch and shit with her and everything. Like, oh, it made her night. One thing I actually love about Robbie was when he came out, me and my sisters were walking up, and he turned, like mid conversation, and he turns to us. He goes, "Is Mark selling merch? Is Doris selling merch?" Yeah. Fuck, what the fuck did I think of that? Gets his bag, places it up, puts the t-shirt on the bag, opens up his own fucking shop. But I was having a conversation with him, and I look, and sure, fucking Will Ospreay comes out, and I said, I was like, Robbie, I'm sorry, but I really have to. And he goes, completely understand it. Go meet Will. And I was like, you're so fucking nice. Walk over to Will Ospreay.
Oh, we'll have another chance to meet Robbie again. I will say one thing from chatting to Robbie, as brief as it was and everything like this. I would love to have him on the podcast because of the fact of how friendly he is, how nice he is, and everything is. And like, this is going to sound a bit weird, but like, he's very like confident and everything like this when he talks, but not like in an ego type of way. It's just like he's very at ease and comforting to speak to. I think he'd be a great get for the podcast at some point. Like, do you know what I mean? I know we've kind of mentioned names that we'd love to have on before, but just for the sake of it, after meeting him, especially, he's like, I was already enough of a fan of him for his in-ring stuff. I would love to hear him speak more on OTT because he's an absolutely amazing speaking voice, which is a very random thing to say, like, but yeah, I became even more of a fan of Robbie X, as much of a mark as I was for him anyway. After that Man Like Doris match, I was just like, he's an absolute fucking stud. And then when we got to meet him, icing on the cake, I was just like, oh, okay, right, I'm throwing the X up every time I see this man anymore. I did it for the first time this time now. I hadn't done it before. I thought more people do it. I noticed I was like the only person in our corner like this when he came out, and I was just like, oh, I am a mark now.
I'm going to mention one name, and I'm going to let Emmet tell the story, and that's J Money.
J Money for the entire main event was given so much shit to our side of the corner. And then afterwards, when he came out and everything like this, right? J Money is a name as well. I've said I'd love to get in the podcast. And the reason for it is actually this as well. He came out and everything like this, and a few people were just like, Jay, would you sign this or whatever like this? And he comes out and he's just like, no, fuck you, pay me, and giving all of the people that were waiting so much shit. It was hilarious to witness. I love Amari. Still like Amari. Love Sky Davis. I adore J Money. J Money is good. The man. Honestly, like, it's criminal. Like, my goal between now and the end of the year is to get some of that actual J Money and for him to sign it. I will pay him money for him to sign it.
Just give him the J Money.
I'll give you 1 J money if you sign this J money, please. I won't take that, but I've got Dogecoin.
No, it was a fucking great night overall. I was well happy that, because like a lot of people didn't, even though like the lads were stood there for ages, a lot of people really didn't go down that corridor. They didn't.
No.
So like to have like all the lads come out and get to meet them and not have this like bombardment of fucking people, because everyone was out the entrance of the warehouse. Nobody actually came down, so it was nice to kind of have that, like, no one's fucking rushing you, no one's pushing you to fucking move on. You know, just to get to actually sit down, have a chat, and get to know the fucking people is great.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I do want to take this moment to shout out a couple of people. I know, Martin, I think you want to do this as well. Dean, first time I ever met you, gent, absolute gent. Ryan, I've met you at a couple of shows, again, an absolute gent. Another very, very sound guy. There's a lot more to that crew that I haven't met yet. I know we kind of chatted to him briefly at the last show. And Layla, I believe that's her name.
Yeah.
Layla. Star. Thank you for that fan art. Yeah, I literally saw you. You were sitting, I think, literally right beside Emmet in the front row.
Literally right in front of me. Yeah, just in front of me.
And I saw you with the fan art, and you looked so nervous, you poor creator. And I don't understand why, because we were just 3 gobshites from Clare, like. So I was kind of like, that's kind of really nice. And to get the picture and everything like that was really, really cool. But there were a couple of other people that come up to me. I don't know if they come up to you guys as well. Just even say hello or whatever. Like, as again, if you do ever do meet us at the show, don't be afraid.
This is what
really
there's only one fan.
Be terrified.
There's only one fan who I will refuse a photo or anything with, and he needs to stop stalking the 5Marks. He even sat beside me. Is that Rob Gold guy? Stay the fuck away.
Rob is a nice guy. Rob's a nice guy.
That's the microphone.
So I'll let Rob know.
Speaking of Rob,
give me a belt.
Where is it?
It's actually downstairs in my sitting room. Now, can I say one thing on the topic of the belt, actually, right? I'll take a photo of this and put it, like, give it to Martin to send it to socials. Rob Gold gave me a replica of the WWE spinner belt. And when I say that thing has not left my waist, I have been sitting down in my sitting room watching telly with a cup of tea, wearing the belt.
Please tell the story that you sent to the missus.
Story that sent to the missus. Oh, which one was that?
Was it the first one you got the belt or some shit like that? Oh, you put in the group chat, and I remember looking at it going, if I had a missus and I'd done that, instantly should have broke up with me.
No. Oh God. Okay, I probably shouldn't mention this in the air. No, I won't mention it. Oh, no, okay, I will. Feck it. I was there, like, when I got the belts and everything like this, I was there messing, and I was just like, I was just like, oh, what was it I said? Because I was drunk and I said this because I came home from the show. It
would take me ages to go back in the group chat. It was something to do with the fucking being like the champ or some shit like that.
I was just there and I was just like, oh, it was something stupid. It was really something along the lines of like, oh, did you ever breathe with the champ and everything? And she's like, what? And it was just like a photo of the belt. And she was like, what is that?
See, I was going to say, go back to your texts, which are fucking probably text as much as I fucking do to anybody. Well, no, Emmett put something like, you know, like a typical wrestling fan would do to their missus. And I remember, like, because Emmett's always been like, oh, if anyone ever does this, I'll slap you. And that was one of the moments I thought, God, if that was anyone else, Emmett would have fucking ripped into them. And I fucking pissing myself laughing.
Well, like, the thing about it is, and we can say this on the air now, that belt spins. And like the Miz did, you can make that W and M. So officially on the books, as of right now, I am officially the world's first 5Marks Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. So until one of you boys beats me for that belt in an arm wrestle or a game of Jenga, I will remain the champ for the extended future. So, Rob Gold made me a part of the...
Emma, turn around there. I'll be over in a second.
Imagine how freaky if he comes actually from behind with the belt and belts me in the back there.
But no, as I'll go back to the shout outs. As Carmo said, shout out to everyone that came up with us. Just to Layla and Cara, who were sitting in front of me. First off, you two are fucking animals when it comes to Danny. I know he's blood, but fucking hell, you could cheer him. You tell the bastard to fucking die.
I agree with him though. Be cool is better, but like, you know.
Well, fuck off you. I don't care what you.
Yeah. What was the girl's name that was with Layla?
Cara.
It was very like awful. Yeah, sorry we didn't get to meet you. There was so much rushing around with her, being kicked out of the
no, that was
show
the
and stuff like
security.
that. So
I tried to get to say this because I felt so bad for her because we were kind of caught for it. So she had just asked Martin, and what ends up happening was I do get it's my one sole complaint about the venue is this, and I understand totally why they do this. So they run a nightclub as well, so they're rushing everyone out the door, understandably. If there's any way, if obviously no one in power and OTT is listening to this, I'm just assuming. But you know where that smoking area was out the side? It would probably make more sense for next time to make the exit out that way. Because obviously, the ring crew are trying to take down the ring and everything. They obviously have a curfew, they have to adhere to and everything like this. The security, they were obviously just doing their jobs, but they were like fucking basically shoving us out the door, like they were borderline putting their hands on people and stuff like this. And look, I totally understand it. It's not something I complain about. They're doing their job at the end of the day. Don't Not particular fan of like the way that one or two of them did it, but look, I get over it, whatever like this. And just the time of when she asked, God over, it was not her fault at all. It was no one's fault. But literally, like, she asked, and we were getting screamed at to move, and there was me like an age at 3 t-shirts, the belt off my shoulder, the draw, fucking like armband on me and everything. So I was like, yeah, we need to move. So we were going out towards the front way, and we just all got lost in the shuffle and everything. So Martin did get a photo with her and everything. We'll make up for probably at the anniversary show. I'd say we'd definitely end up making right in that. Like, I felt awful 100%. After that. Like,
I will say as well, if I happen to see you two look up the podcast again, not you two currently, I will again be going up to you going like, oh yeah, that's my favorite episode. Again, like I wasn't my family had gone to me like, Martin. I looked down, I seen, I think it was Cara on her phone, like, look at the podcast again. I thought, last time I didn't do the joke, I'm doing the joke this time. So just like, I scrolled up, pointed on a random episode, like, oh yeah, that was my favorite one. Got the two of them to fucking laugh. I think that made that bit comfortable.
I'm going to put them both on the spot, and I want them to message the 5Marks on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. Who's your favorite Mark?
Kevin.
That's the question. It probably is Kevin, really. That's the question. I want an answer on the next podcast that we do.
So, and if it's not me, you're never going to get an autograph of anything ever again.
Look, we all know it's really Emmet, but like, it's okay.
See, there seems to be a trend. If the person's anything to do with Hard Knocks, it's Carmo.
Yeah, but that's to be fair. I've given them lifts up and down the country, so like, it's to be expected.
He's stealing their hearts.
Of course I am. That's what I do. I've already done it to Emmet, like so.
We're getting married.
I can't even lie. The man has my soul in my heart.
Look, there's one or two things I want to talk about just as we kind of finish them up, but as we normally do after we go to shows and stuff like that. WrestleRama as a whole, what would you give it out of 10? And I'm going to start with Martin.
I think I'd give it a solid. I think I'd give it a rating on the 9. I can't remember what the fucking rating was. I give a solid 8.5. 8.5, I think it's fair. Venue's great. Matches were great. I feel it was just the rushing of everything. Even the intermission felt rushed. So it was just kind of that. Yeah, 8.5 is my pick.
Emmet.
Yeah, I'd be in the same boat. My one thing trying to like come up with the score for this is I'm trying to think of like what could be improved upon, and I don't want to let any things with the venue or anything have a part in it. So I'm kind of like I can't imagine OTT being able to present a better card than they did in that night because everything was so good. I like my go-to when it came to like the best OTT show I've seen to date, obviously not in person, was the 5th anniversary show. So I'm going to compare it to that. That 5th anniversary show to me is a 10 out of 10 show. It's phenomenal. Like everything about it was fantastic. So because of that, I probably give this a 9. It just slightly misses out on the mark, and it's literally hairs and opinions and differences. It's just very, very small things make up the difference. But as a whole, do you know the best way I can say about this show? If there was any OTT show that we've been to or any Irish wrestling show to date that if I could bring a non-wrestling fan to and be like, this is what independent local pro wrestling is like, that would be the show I would bring them to.
I will say this. There was 2 lads with us. I know they didn't come up in the car with us. 2 lads that were over from Israel. Vincent and Monty. Those 2 boys have never been to a wrestling show ever. I don't think they even watch wrestling. They know nothing about it. What? Absolutely nothing. And the 2 boys have become like fans. As in fans. Like one of the boys actually went and did training in Hard Knocks the other day. That's how.
What?
into it. He is like, yeah, genuine true story.
From after the show, he went.
Yeah. He went up to Hard Knocks and did a training session. And I do have a feeling they will be back literally for an OTT show or an Irish wrestling show. So to get that out of a show is massive.
Were they mates?
For my own they were mates of Monty's.
Okay.
Mates of Monty's, and they were literally over. They come over, I think, 2 weeks or 4 weeks of the year, and they came over for 2 weeks. And just because the show was on, and obviously Monty's into wrestling and stuff, went to the show and loved it. Absolutely loved it. Genuinely loved it. I don't like doing like 0.5s when it comes to ratings, so I'm going to give it a 9. I think the reason is just because in like the complex, you have that time to kind of hang around afterwards, chat to the lads, buy a bit of merch, do that sort of stuff. I think missing that little element would kind of like a little bit. Other than that, I think it would be a perfect 10. Maybe another match, which is kind of like not really a complaint. But I think just literally having that time where you could stand around and meet the lads and stuff like that, like would have been a little nicer. Buy a bit of merch and stuff like that, because I did want to get something from the draw. But look, that's.
I really wanted to go up to Danny, like properly get his thoughts on the video I made. Like I was really. That was
the same. That was the same. And literally ended up for me and you. Only for the fact that we met Be Cool when we did never got our shirts. So that kind of way. So little stuff like that was kind of where it was at. But again, that's no complaint on OTT. That's more so on the venue. But it is what it is. So a solid 9 for me, but an unbelievable show. Great show.
I think it was an okay once off to use that venue, but I'm kind of hoping to stick to the complex going forward.
I think they'll be all 3. I think they're going to do all 3.
It's more relaxed in the complex, and I just think as a punter, like as a, an attendee, it's a lot more relaxed and stuff like that, and you kind of have more comfort with it. And again, look, it was the day of the week. They run a nightclub inside there, totally understandable. But there was a lot of kind of like pressure to be here, be there, be there. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of had to be at X, Y, and Z within these time frames, and that kind of it can take you out of it when you're trying to enjoy your night as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's massive queues for the toilets. There's people wanting to go outside, all these different things and everything like that. But look, it's a minor complaint at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It is a minor complaint.
It's not even a complaint. Like anyone from OTT that think we're complaining, but then we're not at all. It's more so just on the venue. But yeah, that was WrestleRama. Do we have time to talk about RCW?
We're coming up to an hour and a half now, so we can quickly run through it. But like realistically, it's already happening by the time this gets uploaded. So, but look,
I do want to run through one or two things just before we do start. Next week's episode is an episode that has already been recorded, believe it or not. I'm going to let Emmet quickly explain what the next week's episode is about.
So, I can tell you from the fact that it is recorded, from the episode taken over the 5Marks for a week. No, it's not.
Who the fuck agreed to that?
Me.
Me. No, so basically next week's episode, it's going to be a trial run for a format I'd like to do maybe once a month. It's going to be like a retrospective style episode of the 5Marks, where I basically either, for this one that's coming up, I sit by myself and I basically talk about the career of Terry Funk, and I give you guys 10 matches to check out by Terry Funk if you're not very familiar with Terry Funk's work. So it's a very prim, proper, fun listen. A lot of sound bites in there, a lot of like sound bites of matches, promos, different bits and everything. I'm a huge nut for old, like mid to late 80s American wrestling, same with Japan and everything. I love 90s wrestling and everything like that as well. I do love real old, like even, like Giants of Wrestling and stuff like that, all that type of crack. So it was kind of a nice excuse, circumstances aside, to be able to talk about that type of stuff. So we're going to test it out next week if you guys like it. We have some different ideas for other retrospectives we can do. Maybe classic pay-per-view reviews and stuff like that. We could do this new format with some of the other marks as well if they'd like to do it. Check out next week's episode. Let us know what you think. If you like the style and format of that episode, then we can roll with one once a month. It'll give Martin a week off, which he badly needs because he's doing 101 things for us now in the one, to be fair to him. And we're burning the candle of Martin.
I'm dying!
The milky candle is burning at both ends. So we need to put it out before the room goes sour.
Emmet did say there as well, if you do listen to next week's episode, do let us know what you think, and if there's like any like person that you want us to do one on, or if there's any like show. Now I will say Irish wrestling show if possible, maybe a Brit wrestler, like a Ref or Progress or something like that. In a year's time, not straight away. If there is like any OTT show, anything like that, if there is an episode that you want us to do, whether it's like our top 10 Irish wrestling matches of all time, whether it's something on WWE, AEW, New Japan, whatever it is, do let us know because we're open to suggestions. We will have some special guests hopefully coming on fairly soon, especially in the run up to the anniversary show, which is all being planned by Mr. Martin, because he's the planner guy. But yeah, do let us know. And again, as I said, if there's any content that you want to see us do let us know and do shout it out. And again, if you do see us at a show, avoid Martin.
You got it, Emmet. You got it, Emmet. You knew what I was doing. But no, 100%. Let us know what you think of Emmet's thing, because I definitely like to. I'm very big on trying to get more content for us. So if you guys enjoy Emmet's little review thing, please come up with a name for it for us, because I can't think of anything. I tried.
Oh, I got it.
What was it?
It's called RetroRama.
Oh, I like it.
Why didn't you tell me that? Because there's me thinking for fucking weeks, like, oh, what am I going to call this thing? I was even trying to think, like, oh, if there's something I could rhyme with Emmet or all this shit. I thought, I just couldn't think of nothing. RetroRama.
No, I actually just made that up on the spot after this review. So I was just like, that actually suits it really, really well as well, to be fair.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go. So if you do,
tune in next week for RetroRama.
Yes, we say the first episode, or like the kind of
volume 1. We'll volumize it.
Like volume.
Okay.
Roman numerals for every single one of them.
So and as well, I want to say as well, because I will not be here, I will be in Spain. There is no video, YouTube video of that next week. It will be, and the series itself will probably be a audio exclusive, unless we decide to reach out into video. But next week's one, 100%, because I'm not here, will be just Spotify release. So look forward to it. It will still be up. I think it 6 p.m. It's so late, I can't remember the time. 6 p.m. on Saturday. So do look forward to that. As well, should we tell them, guys? Should we tell them what's coming?
Oh, yes.
Should we tell them what we're going to go get?
No, we shouldn't really. You shouldn't.
Nah.
We should leave them. We should leave them on a hook.
100% should.
We should leave them on a hook.
Do you know what? I've said it before.
And we're ding.
No, I've said it before. Carmo said it before. Emmet, you get to announce it.
Oh, okay. Is it the thing that we're collecting?
The thing we're collecting. The thing that everyone has been waiting for months, that we've been saying, it's coming, we're waiting. And guess what?
It's the return of Kev.
Yeah!
Imagine he came in from behind me now with just a towel. Like, hello, gentlemen.
So this is the 5Marks.
That'd be a cliffhanger to sit on. But finally, we have the t-shirts. They're done. We have to collect them. We're going to collect them. And it's been a super independent thing. We designed the t-shirts ourselves. We went to a local printing company to do them. They actually did the From the Depths t-shirts as well. So the lads can attest. The quality is great in them. Can't wait to see them. So we have a limited run of them. We only have X amounts. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with regards to selling them. But we will know what the story is by next weekend.
We have a general plan. But what I will say is keep an eye on like Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. There will be a post, hopefully with the three of us in it, where we will be kind of announcing what to do for the t-shirts, and there may be a sneaky competition somewhere along the way.
No, there will be. I planned this fucking ages ago.
Hey, we have to leave them in suspense. We can't just leave them everything. Like, can't just tell them everything.
We're giving Emmet away. If you want your own podcast, he is great for it.
He only has 45 of them.
I have more podcasts than brain cells at this rate. Like.
But I want to say, yes, we have the t-shirt. The t-shirts, they are made. We are going to be collecting them in the next couple of weeks. And as well, as you said, this is limited. We only have 50 at the moment. I'm actually going to get exactly each size. So if you want to pre-order one, just message us on Instagram and we'll try and hold one for you. I know there's people, I think 2 or 3 people have pre-ordered one like months in advance. So let me know what size and stuff like that. I'll let you guys kind of take over for a second, because I need to find the PDF where it tells me exactly how many sizes we're getting.
Now, because it's such a limited run, t-shirts are €150 each. But they do include a €5 Domino's voucher. and a picture of the three of us with Kev.
And Kev is stood in the Shawn Michaels pose with the title and the Christmas, the fire.
Yeah, that's how Emmet got his title.
Yeah, I had to pose for Rob with the belts.
So just for people not like, if these do well, just so you know, we will get a restock. We'll get one more restock of them, but we're gonna have 10 smalls, 15 mediums, 15 large, and 10 extra larges. So if you want to pre-order them, let us know, and it will be like everything else. It's first come first serve kind of basis.
Can I just make one extra point as well? If there's people looking for other sizes that haven't been available with this first run, just let us know, and then when the second run comes along, we could do a pre-order for them as well and order whole stock. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I would imagine, like, the design is sick, lads. Like, I'm actually so happy with the t-shirt as well. It costs a little bit extra compared to the From the Depths ones to get done because it was a double-sided print, but because it's a double-sided print, man, I was going to say, it's going to be
the double-sided print type of designs were probably a yearly thing, so if you want one now, get one now. And who knows? Because who knows what next year's one will be. We already know what the next t-shirt's going to be, and I'm just saying this now, it will be like a special, like, limited edition. Like, this, it'll be proper limited edition.
Limited edition.
So... But it's very, very funny. It's already been discussed on here by the world's best referee. But if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it now. But just very, very quickly, I'll go into it. Obviously, the day this comes out and the time, RCW is going on at the moment with their show. Check out the VOD when it comes out. I guarantee you I'm having a hell of a time. And if you happen to be listening to this an hour before the show, what are you doing? The show has already started. This episode's an hour and a half long, so you've missed half an hour of the show. Come say hi to me, because I'm going to be there.
And me.
You're not going to be there.
Are you going as well?
I'm going to be there. I'm going to RCW.
You're not.
Raging. I'm like the only one missing this fucking show.
What? I got a friend.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be there, like, but, you know, whether we stand beside each other is a different story.
Well, I can spoil it for you. So I'm actually going to be in Mr. Charlie's box. So
pops out. Ayo!
Who the fuck is this guy?
imagine you actually did that, but for some strange reason, Kev was just in Sim's bag.
And we have like the Orange Cassidy like boot off, just the Oh.
You hit him with the box, he hit with you with the bag.
Right, Mr. Carmo.
Let's do it.
What's our socials?
Emma, thank you so much. 5Marks Pod on Twitter and 5Marks Podcast and everything else.
He's getting it.
Thank fuck I wrote that down in my hand before, and I'm like Dwayne Johnson here in the ring. Emma, thank you so much for joining us again today. You've been a really, really special guest. We hope to have you on again soon. Like we said to everyone else, no, I'm only joking. If you do actually want to hear an episode with the original 5Marks someday down the future, just with a bit of shit posting like we used to do, do let us know as well. Martin, sign us off with something.
Oh, I get to do it.
Yeah. Not there's something. No, that's my job. Not there's something, but sign us off with something.
Well, as Carmo said, it was great having Emmet back. Kind of put on the spot here, don't know what to do, but I've been Mr. Martin 115.
Just tell him to listen to From the Depths too.
For some reason, Emmett's mic just completely cut out. Didn't hear that. It's weird. Thank you all for listening. I've been Mr. Martin 115, the face that runs the place. Carmo, go buy everybody a 5Marks t-shirt now.
I mean, why would I buy them?
Go buy a fucking t-shirt.
Off me. I tell you what, I'll buy them and then I'll sell them for 40 euros. Smart businessman.
Take us home.
Emmet, I'm giving you 3 seconds to plug From the Depths.
FTD. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You did all right.
In
fairness. But look, lads, we have been the 5Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast. Do you know what? I'm going to absolutely swerve it again because he was so excited to do it. Martin, finish it off.
Oh, I wasn't actually that excited to do it. But thank you all for listening for this week's episode. We are officially done. Yeah.